Good morning and happy 20th of November.
Woohoo. Good
Uh,
morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Question Pro Office Hours. I'm your host, Crystal Weiss, the Director of Marketing here at Question Pro, and I'm joined by Parachi Gupta.
Yes,
Is that right? I
yes,
was like, you didn't put your
yes,
last name up
yes, yes, yes.
there. Who is the head of customer marketing here at Question Pro. And this is our last office hours of the year. And so we have a lot to talk about. And if you want to follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, or any of those platforms, you can find us. Here is our names and numbers, I guess numbers. Um, and
Nickname.
we are here to just, oh, my hair is blue in that photo. We are here to chat about end of the year surveys for this Question Pro office hours, which I'm pretty excited about. We have been doing these, this will be our 11th office hours this year. We did them
Yep.
every month this year, which is pretty exciting. And we love to know where you're from. So let us know in the comments. I'm based in Austin, Texas, where it is a brisk 65 degrees today. Prachi, where are you located?
I'm based in Delhi in India, and I can only talk in Celsius, so it's 15 degrees here today.
I always try to figure out if I can do the conversion of Celsius in my head, but because it's like negative 30, I'm like, no, I can't do the math.
No.
It's like can't do the math. Well, let us know where you're at in the comments, and we would love to know because we know we have customers and employees globally, and we really try to be a fully distributed company even when it comes to our employees. And then if you don't know that much about Question Pro, we are a I almost had an accent there. We are a full service research suite, everything from your basic surveys like what kind of brownies do you want to take to the Christmas holiday party to how much would you pay for those brownies at the grocery store in our survey
Mhm.
software and research suite. And then with our customer experience platform, you can ask people how likely they are to recommend your brownies. And then with our workforce platform, you could ask your employees how likely those brownies would get them to stay at your company. And if they I guess really went with the brownie train there. And if they
Yeah.
would like better brownies at a different company. So if you are looking for a survey, insights, or experience platform, Question Pro has you covered, and you can always reach to us out on our social media platforms or at sales@questionpro.com. And I think if I had though to choose one platform to get at the end of the year, I think it'd be Workforce. That's what I
Oh,
would do.
yeah.
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 Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, with the recession and, we're seeing those big tech layoffs, but I'm not going to lie to you. When I'm on LinkedIn, I see a lot of jobs, so I would still be worried. I'd still be worried about churn if I were the people out there. What about you, Prachi?
Yeah.
Favorite
Yeah.
product that you would walk away with at the end of the year with?
Well, at the end of the year right now, it would be workforce for sure. Because there's also there's a lot of nervousness going around with all the employees and all the companies. So you really want to figure out how everybody's feeling,
Mhm.
if everyone's happy, if they're going to stay,
Yeah, it's
where you're
true.
headed. Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
true. Well, let us know if you guys have any questions in the comment section. We are going to be talking this time about end of the year surveys. And as we were just talking about, workforce is one of those great options. But Prachi, what would be your um end of the year ultimate survey if you were a small business?
Um, End of the year, I would want to know. I would want to run a relationship NPS survey with my customers. I would want to
Mm,
know, yeah, how we've done throughout the year, how what our customers are expecting in terms of
yeah.
industry trends and everything for the upcoming year. So yeah,
An
it would
NPS
be.
question, an NPS score. So for people
Mhm.
watching NPS right now, if you don't know, NPS means Net Promoter Score. I know we use a lot of terms very flippantly that may not
Mm.
be I know we also like things like insights, and you're like, what does that mean exactly? um and so net promoter score is that question where you see on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend this product? 9 and 10s being promoters, 7 and 8s being neutral, or what's the
Passives. Passive.
passives, and then 6 and down being negatives. You would think it would be 5 and under, but it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything
um,
below 9 is a danger zone.
That's what I really
Yeah.
honestly. So I've been actually telling my friends about that lately because they're like, I mean, classic marketers are like, this is a 7, this
Mhm.
is an 8. We're in the 7-8 passives. But I really was like talking to some friends we were like at a dinner party. It was the nerdiest conversation. But I was like, make sure you get you give 9s and 10s because they won't know that you're fans if you do that. And my friends didn't know
Yeah. 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 Well, actually, I think we have a lot of like good talks about it on our YouTube channel as well.
that.
But about how like the 7s and 8s are actually really dangerous because your passives are really highly likely to behave like your detractors, and you just don't know
Mhm.
because you're too focused on your detractors, and that's it. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't it takes a lot for me to be a fan of
Mhm.
something if I'm not, like, emotionally loyal to it otherwise,
Yeah.
like a soccer team, right? Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be a fan of the soccer team even if, like, I wanna give them a 1 some days, but let's say this is a good one. I have a favorite brand of shower cap.
Uh-huh.
And I was a huge fan. I bought shower caps for all of my friends, but then there was one time I bought like 3 or 4 and they never showed up.
Oh,
And
that's a
I was
broken
like, I
experience.
used to promote
Yeah.
them all the time to all of my friends, and just that one bad experience really put me, and I never like gave them a bad review or anything, but I stopped using them, which put me straight,
Mhm.
which where I thought I was a fan, I really was a passive.
Right, right. Or
Yeah,
had yeah, had the brand reached out to you or kind of solved that, you'd have
it was
probably
a
gone back to buying from
whole
them.
thing. Whole thing.
Oh.
Just like, I just want a refund on my
Oh.
shower caps. But like also being committed to one brand of shower cap, it was such a good shower cap, and I feel so bad.
Oh.
Um, what's one product that your ultimate like is your like live or die? Like, are you like somebody who only uses like a specific brand of toothpaste or like laundry detergent?
Not toothpaste or laundry detergent, but I am obsessively brand loyal. So I will only shop from like 2 brands and like
Ooh,
all my clothes, all my shoes, all the
there we
bags will
go.
come from the same place. Yes, obsessively brand loyal.
There we go. Do you think that working at QuestionPro or in market research has made you more brand loyal?
I think so. I actually do
Ooh.
think so. Because now I understand when they're making an effort to kind of
Mhm.
make sure that your just your experience is really smooth, and like the
Yeah.
returns, if there's a mistake, like they address it, they get your yeah. So I understand when they're actually making an effort. I think that came also from so much exposure to
When you
everything.
so, for those out there watching and here who are also here to learn about end of the year surveys and what we're doing here at Question Pro with office hours, you can see that even us at Question Pro, the more we learn about the market research industry, whether that be customer experience, employee experience, or market research, we really, I don't know, it's like instilled in us now. It seeps into our lives.
Yep. Yeah. Like I will see a change on the website and I'll be like, oh my God, they're really trying to make this user interface better for me. Yeah. I
Aw, that's
appreciate
nice. I
everything.
like that. See, as whereas like I'm more about the convenience. Like I'll order from Amazon now for things that I don't,
Yeah.
not that I, anyways, a side note, but because I can return them at Whole Foods without a box.
Oh yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
so I can just drop it off at Whole Foods without a box.
Hmm.
And that's a game changer.
And that's a great experience, right? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean,
of
other
course
than
you'd go
standing in
for
line
that.
at Whole Foods. um, but okay, so Prachi's end of the year survey would be an NPS score for your customers. Figure out what, really is where their mind is, where they want to see the company go next year, and how really are they promoting you into, I don't know, their lives. And this is a great time to send that out with their purchase. So, we're on
Yeah.
Cyber Monday right now. We just had Black Friday. The Today's Show said this morning that consumers hit overspent on every goal. So we're hitting new spending uh what's like thresholds. And so as soon as someone buys that product on your website or at a farmer's market, make sure you're sending them out a survey. Make sure you're collecting their data, even if it's just one question about how their experience was at the checkout line, or how, send them out a survey maybe a week later about the product they bought. Is a week too long?
Could be. I mean, if it's in e-commerce, or yeah, if you're serving your customers, you probably want to get that top of mind experience
Right.
within, like, or give them some time to use the product if,
Mhm.
like a direct consumable, and then a week is fine. If it's otherwise, you want to like kind of get them within the 2 to 3 days so they still remember they bought from you, what they bought from you. Was it good? Was it bad? All of that. But also end of the year, great time to run relationship NPS surveys. So just to kind of gauge where, like, do your customers, how do they remember you? And
Mm.
like you said, do they have an emotional kind of loyalty to your brand? Right. So
Yeah.
if it's not, yeah, if it's not tied to a particular purchase, outside of that, will they still remember you? Are they still going to promote you? And
Yeah.
why is that? Yeah.
Are you going to take up space in their mind? That's the whole
Mhm.
definition of brand, essentially, is
Yeah.
are you taking up space in people's minds?
Yeah.
And that is, I mean, brand loyalty and the space. If someone gives you space in their mind for your brand, like, you better like cherish them.
Yes. Yes.
Like, take care of them. Another easy win here that we're doing at QuestionPro, this isn't a survey, but something we also do here is we send out physical Christmas cards to all of our customers that we have addresses for in the States and Canada. And that really has been, I would say, a game changer, and one of
Mhm.
those just like touch points that does kind of double down on the brand of their mind. So if you have a shipping address, I use postable.com, and it's literally the best. And I know they have integrations. And so really think about how you can follow through on that brand narrative, not just trying to collect data from them. Because what I think often we don't realize with surveys is you need an exchange of value. It's just like any experience online. How are you making an exchange of value for their time and for hopefully the brand space you take up in their minds?
Yeah. Yeah.
An easy way to do that, though, with our advanced and team edition and research edition is through survey rewards,
Yeah. And
right?
it's
And
an, yeah.
what kind
Yeah.
of, Prachi, tell me a little bit, what kind of survey rewards can we do? I know we can do Amazon cards and Visa gift cards.
We can also do custom cards if you
Oh,
already, I mean, if you want to give your custom discount for your product at like 50%,
oh,
20%, you can do that.
there you go.
Uh, yeah.
That's awesome. I like that a lot. Well, so product NPS. So how do they like, your company and your product? A relational NPS. So how do they like you as a company?
Yeah. Yes.
I would not recommend sending out relational NPSs in your personal life. Probably not wise,
Yeah. I'm not going to be doing that.
but could be pretty funny. Somebody's gonna put that on a dating show sometime. Um, and let's get to some of our questions we've got. So, what are some of the best practices to remember when you plan to create a large catalog of surveys over the long term?
That is a very full question. But yeah, and it's a great question and a very full one.
So Prachi, what
Yeah.
what are some of our best practices for large survey catalogs?
Oh, so many. So I think just starting with, just remember you're not going to survey end of the year is a great time to send some surveys, but that's not the only time you should be surveying somebody. So
Mm.
you're going to want to map out what are the different channels and touch points where you interact with your customers. And at each of those touch points, what sort of information do you want to collect? So you'll want to think about your customer experience surveys, your product experience, if you're like at literally at every touch point, if you're doing a delivery, you'll want to know whether the delivery experience went smooth. If it's a consumable product, like if you're, because at least I completely rely on ordering all my groceries in. So
Oh,
I have not been to a grocery store in like 3 years now.
see, I love grocery shopping. I
Yeah. I love the comfort of my home. So, but yeah, and I love it that they survey if I got everything fresh, and if
Oh.
something's not fresh, it's an immediate. You talk to someone, you immediately get a replace or get a refund. So, and
Hmm.
that's all a survey. Yeah.
Right.
So every touch point matters, really.
And inside of the Question Pro platform, we do have a place where you can save surveys and questions, right?
Yes, yes.
Do you want to show
You
us where
can
you do
build your entire question library. Yes, just
Ooh,
like
that's fun. I love going to the grocery store and just like seeing everything that's like there. I also like the psychology of how grocery store shelves are like
yeah.
designed. I find it fascinating. I think
Oh
it's
my
because I
God.
also like like it's because it's marketing, right? Like
Yeah.
product placement in grocery stores. And I'm a very tactile person. Um, it's all
I
kind
mean,
of goes.
if I went to a grocery store hungry, I would just come back with absolutely everything on every shelf. And
Okay, I'm gonna add this to the stream.
okay. Oops, I think we both
I
added it
think
and then went away. Yeah.
there we go.
Okay. Yep.
Okay,
So,
so here we are inside of Question Pro.
mhm. And this is our beautiful dashboard. This is I have one of my questionnaires open here. So if you
Ooh.
see, if I go to add a question, there's this entire library right here, which has literally everything, all the questions that I have run recently and I've saved. And a really beautiful thing now that released this month is when I'm adding a question, it's going to pull up a question from my library based on like the first four letters that I typed. So if I said how, there you go. It's going to show me everything here.
What? And this is
Yeah.
from your library. These aren't ones that we defaulted in.
This is both. This is the QuestionPro library and your library,
That's
and your
awesome.
library can be shared. Yeah, it can be shared across your organization. So if there's one person that's really building the surveys, and somebody else comes in, you can access the same library. You can, yeah, you really don't have to do much thinking
I
anymore.
really think that that is something that we do not at Question Pro or in market research talk about because so often market researchers and research teams are siloed away from each other because they're on different product
Yeah.
lines, they're in different orgs. But if you have a Question Pro license that covers, I don't know, Bob and Sue, and they work in different product lines, but they're under kind of their Question Pro umbrella license, then they would be able to see, oh, hey, Bob also asked this question. Maybe Bob and I are
Yeah.
running the same study. And you really could streamline your insights a lot faster with collaboration.
Hmm.
For anybody listening, make sure that when you really are looking at expanding your licenses or using Question Pro, think about it as a whole org and not just like siloed like product team to marketing team to HR team.
Yep. Yep. And this would be a great segue to also go into Insights Hub, how you can
Oh, it
completely,
would. But you know
oh
what? I don't want to
yeah.
give Nick that. No, I'm kidding. Nick,
Yeah,
I
we
love
can
you.
send.
I'm sorry. He's probably watching. Um, uh, but we do have a product called Insights Hub that does even more of what we just told you about, where you could get nuggets and customer knowledge and shared studies across databases,
Yeah,
which
really
is
just share everything so you never lose
great.
data again, never lose a study again. Yeah.
Share all the things. Okay,
Yeah.
so show us. This is where you can store your questions and your past surveys.
Yes.
That's awesome. And this is also where, if you're on our advanced license, you have access to the advanced question types like NPS scores. If you're just a
Mhm.
small business,
On
you can
here.
add an NPS question. If you're looking for a more advanced experience, like a customer experience, a customer journey, really getting a pulse of your customers over time, we really recommend our CX platform. If you're
Yeah.
looking for just a one-time kind of, glimpse in time, advanced is the way to go.
Advanced or teams if it's more
Mm,
than one
true.
person who's using it. Yeah. So
My
exactly what
bad.
we
My
spoke
bad.
about.
I always go for the mid tier.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to go straight down the middle.
Yeah. But right, what we spoke about, if there are more than one person conducting surveys and you want to share
Mhm.
intelligence, you want to share templates, it's best to just go for a team edition. And
Right.
yeah,
For sure. And then can you show us in here where some of your, yeah, can you go back to your past surveys so that we can see kind of, you
yeah.
could copy a survey for different, and they
Mhm.
live here in your survey library. You could then copy it for maybe a different
Yep.
chain or a different product line. Copied.
You can copy it, place it in a different, as you can see, I have a whole lot of folders. You can place it in any folder, copy survey. You can also share your surveys. So share the survey with somebody else. You can share surveys with, I think I have a shared survey right here. Sorry. Yeah. Somewhere at the bottom here, I have a shared
Ooh.
survey. Mhm. Which is super convenient. Somebody else created it, but I'm also a stakeholder in the responses. So, and I have notifications set up. So every time somebody responds, I get a notification. My colleague gets a notification. It's super convenient.
That's so fun. Y'all, really bringing Prachi on as my co-pilot for probably a lot of 2023 is going to be great. She's going to teach us so much. You don't have to just be with me scrolling around finding different things anymore.
We'll all learn
Discovering.
together.
Yes. This is great. And so another end of the year survey you might want to do is maybe for your parents or the students at your school. And I
Yeah.
know that we have those survey templates set up. If you guys are worried, if you're watching this and you're like, man, I need to do an end of the year survey, but I don't know what
So just
to
gonna pull it up.
do.
Just put
Are
in
you gonna do a
question
template?
pros survey templates, and that's
It's so easy, you
there
guys.
we go.
QuestionPro survey templates. We literally have over 350. And you can just start here. And as soon as you sign up, or if you log into your account, it uploads all of the questions into your account. You do not have to type them in.
Yeah.
That is my least favorite part of building surveys.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Or having
Absolutely.
our market research team look at the surveys that I type up in my Google Doc and then being like, you've asked this question all wrong.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sorry. But okay, so I'm sure we have some end of the year surveys in here.
We do. They're not classified as end of the year survey, but we do. Like we have, like you were talking about the school surveys, we have a whole bunch of school surveys. So course
Ooh.
evaluation, I think what I noticed is I think schools, universities, and other educational institutions are the leaders in conducting end of year surveys, just so many of them. It's all your course evaluation and everything, which is pretty much everything that's in here.
For
So I have
sure.
a
High school musical survey.
survey.
My nephew
Hmm.
Tate just finished his first musical, and he's in eighth grade, seventh grade.
Oh wow. Yeah, yeah.
He's in a grade. And they just finished their first musical. Though, I mean, it doesn't have to be a high school musical, it just could be any musical.
Yeah. Hmm. Absolutely.
um, but this is definitely, make sure you go to questionpro.com/survey templates. You'll find so many things. And most of these you'll see like are that one up there is 87 questions or 21 questions. Those are too long. Do not send out 87 questions. Do not do it.
Yeah.
But all the questions are there and written for you.
Yep. You select your questions, you add the logic so it becomes a smart questionnaire. Not everybody's answering all the questions, but yeah,
Right.
no, definitely don't send 87 questions in one go. It's gonna be a heart attack. Yeah.
Don't do it at all. That's funny. No. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna dive into some more and
Hmm.
questions, some of our end of the year questions. Do do do. What plans for upcoming year? Why should we run surveys? Length of an end of the year survey we just talked about, less than
Hmm.
20 questions, or I would say less than 5 questions. 5 questions would be great.
Yeah.
I tend to be a frequency over, I don't know, length kind of
Quantity.
person,
Yeah.
quantity
Yeah.
over length. Prachi,
Mhm.
how often though, if you're saying, okay, I'm going to send a survey now, when would you send the next survey? You don't want to wait a whole year.
Yeah. Well, if it's not tied to a particular transaction, I guess quarterly is a good frequency to survey your customers.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, don't wait for just once a year. Um, so,
So,
or
what
if
are
you're
some of the
wait,
pitfalls that you could run into if you're only surveying once a year?
well, depends if you're serving them once a year. Hopefully, that's not related to any transaction because there's no way anybody's going to remember anything that happened in January if you're asking that question in December. But also, I guess you lose out on a lot of insights
Mhm.
because surely the customer's experiences and requirements change over the year with everything
Mm,
that's changing around them. If you're only listening to them at one point in the year at the end and you just plan your entire strategy purely based on that, you're probably going to lose out on a lot of things that are going to change over time.
right. And that also
Yeah.
goes with your employees and your customers.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Your employees' expectations are going to change as the economy changes, as their lives
Yeah.
change. Um, and that definitely can affect, your retention, etc.
Yeah.
Um, okay,
Pretty
so
important.
customer satisfaction surveys. What are the things we want to look for if you're doing it at a uh, product level? Let's say somebody just bought a vacuum. I bought
Hmm.
new luggage yesterday on Friday. That was my Black Friday purchase. So I buy some luggage. What are the things you're going to ask us about that, and what questions would we? What kind of question types would we use for that?
So you'll want to survey how the purchase experience was to begin
Mhm.
with. If it's an online purchase, was it smooth? Did they hit like any issues while making the payment, which can be completely detrimental really, when making a purchase? And then the delivery experience, how is the product in itself? So that's your product experience, which we have templates for that too. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, and you want to be using a mix of question types. You want to use rating questions to really capture how people are feeling, how people like a particular product based on a 5 point scale or so, because you want to give them a little bit of feedback of like, do you really like us? Do you kind of like us? Do you not like us at all? But yeah, and transaction related NPS surveys. Those would be surveys that you look into, question types that you look into conducting as well. And really important, actually, open ended. I think a lot of surveys, it can be a little scary because you feel like your response rates will drop if you have open ended questions.
I love
Um,
questions
yeah, but it's the best way to get top of mind feedback. You
though.
might not have covered it
Right.
might not have covered it in one of your close-ended questions, but an open-ended question gives the customer room to really tell you what they need, what they liked or they didn't.
And if you're
Yeah.
doing an open-ended question, we have an analysis tools. If you go back to the tool
Yes.
that can help you really dive into those open-ended answers. And we have things like word clouds. We have That's the only one I can think
Ooh,
of. Oh, a live webinar is coming.
hello.
Hello. With Sonia, the head of president of workforce, and our friend Al Adamson. He's the best. Make sure you join on December 7th.
It's like they heard us. They're like, yes, employee survey. Listen to your employees. It's gonna be
See,
great
this is
for sure.
exactly what we've been talking about. You want to exit out of that though, so it doesn't take up so much space.
Yeah.
There we go. See, also, that's how you get rid of the banners inside the QuestionPro app. Hit that exit on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
That logo is too big.
Yeah, actually, and great time to show you can also resize the logo just right from here.
I love that little drag and drop. Okay.
Okay.
So show us in,
We
there we go. What were we looking for?
we were looking for analytics, text analysis.
Ooh, word cloud, text report, text analysis, sentiment analysis.
Sentiment analysis. Yep. All these ways to make analyzing the open-ended questions so much easier. I love word cloud.
I like that. So make sure that you're using this whole area. Qualitative or open-ended questions really can give you some like great nuggets if you're looking for. I use them for testimonials from customers. It really gives you just a different cue into the things they prioritize that you may not have realized. Like when we did the survey for X Day, which I'm sure everyone is tired of talking about, but nevertheless, here we are. For X Day, the fortune teller got the most qualitative, like just like, yay, we love the fortune teller. It was mentioned in almost every survey in their open-ended question. And while, yes, we surveyed about it, like, how did you enjoy this experience? Having that qualitative or text analysis, like text validation that they talked about it again, or really, made us realize that it was like a thing.
Yep. That's great insight. And we'll probably have a fortune teller next time too, because people
Yeah.
loved it so much,
I was
right?
like, I don't even know how we would not have it now. I feel like if I didn't have it, then the next
Yeah.
year, all the surveys would say, why was there not a fortune teller?
This is why I came. Yeah.
Right, excuse me. I came to X Day specifically for the fortune teller. So make sure you're going into your dashboard and then you can go into analytics, and these get updated in real time. So every time, somebody, if I went and viewed the survey, it would click up 65. This isn't,
Yep.
just a shot in the dark. This isn't a PDF. This is a real-time dashboard that's also shareable. And the URL right there that you're sending out is also updated. So it's not like you're downloading a PDF. You don't have to send a report. You can automate reports that are emailed out that are updated and that are directly linked to this, which is pretty exciting.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And this is
You can
just to
also
break down
brand
all of the
this too.
questions.
You can brand the report specifically for your company. And that's pretty exciting. Obviously, ours are all branded QuestionPro, but you can change the color palette. Which I would suggest doing. Not that I don't love seeing the QuestionPro blue everywhere, but making sure even in the reports you're sending out that brand loyalty is enforced even internally. As I've been working on our QuestionPro marketing plan for 2023. Something that I'm working on even internally is how do we create brand advocates even of QuestionPro internally? And so how do you start reinforcing that brand loyalty even among your employees?
Yeah, yeah.
That's all. Something to think about.
No, I think that's a great point, because I think a lot of us might miss out on actually changing the brand colors and not the logo. Everybody will change the logo, but a lot
Yeah.
of times you forget to change brand colors. But it's super easy and super important. Like, your customers should know that they're answering a survey that came up from you,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to build a brand recall, associate your colors to your brand. Really important to do that. And we have a whole bunch of templates that are preset. You can also do custom themes, and you can play around with this a whole bunch. I think this is
Yeah.
one of our favorites, right? Yeah.
Yes. That's
Love
from
it.
those
So
like
fun.
squiggles are from a next day.
Yeah.
um but and this is really a lot of what we talk about. I know we tend to have a bit of a marketing kind of tilt on it because we are marketers. um but market research is really making sure that you can get the right kind of data, and if the respondents don't know what they're like, who they're responding to, then your data is going to be tainted and it won't reflect
Yeah.
exactly, like it won't be the best representation. And that's what we're
Mhm.
always, dirty data is just as bad as is just the worst. And
Yeah.
so, really making sure that you maintain those kind of like tie throughs even through your surveys is really, really important. Okay, so we talked about product surveys at the end of the year when someone purchases. We've talked about employee experience surveys, making sure that your employees are happy and that they want to be retained. And we have a webinar coming up on that December 7th. I believe it's a Wednesday. Yes, with Al Addison and Sonia talking about retention. Um, we've talked about making sure you are, having the brand take up in your customers' minds, and making sure you're doing NPSs, whether that be for a product or for a relational. Anything you think we've missed when it comes to the end of the year?
I think what we should touch upon is how to make sure that you have a good response rate for these surveys.
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
well, like you said, also if dirty data is, I think, worse than no data because you're going to take the wrong decisions based on
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah. But yeah, so making sure we have great response rates. And I think we already touched upon incentives. Great way to make sure that you are also thanking your customers for their time, for their attention, to to give you those responses. And a lot of that stuff is built in. You can just with us, you can send out Amazon gift cards, Starbucks gift cards, custom gift cards, all sorts of
It's
things.
under distribute, I believe, right?
Yes, it's under no, it's under finish options. Oh my God.
Oh, is it?
Okay,
Sorry, my
how
bad.
did I do that?
I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah. It's
know.
under finish options. It's under, yeah, one of these. I cannot see my screen. It's
Rewards.
on
There we go.
rewards. Yeah. And then you have all of these.
Woo! Okay. Love
Mhm.
that. Coupon.
Yep.
Who doesn't love a
Right.
coupon?
So, but that's just one of the many options to make sure that we have a good response rate. The other one is also surveying them regularly throughout the year. I know what you can't do just like
Yep.
right now, but making sure you're sending relevant content, not just surveys, but relevant content, things that your customers can actually use, they look forward to, so they remember your brand. They remember that they interacted with you at some point, and then you know your they will remember when you send them an end of year survey.
Yep.
And I think the last one really, which even I was struggling with, is how to cut through the noise, because
Mm,
Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so many emails going out, so much noise all over the place, so
all
many
the
discounts.
time.
Yeah. I think I sent out an email, and then as soon as I hit send, I received about 10 discount emails from all sorts of different places. So how do you
It was
cut
like,
through
oh,
the
it's
noise?
10 a.m. Central. Time to send out emails.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God. But yeah, how do you cut through the noise? What would you say, Crystal?
Oh, geez. I don't know. Send it tomorrow.
Send it tomorrow, maybe.
Be like Cyber Monday Eve or post Cyber Monday. I mean, it really is. For our Cyber Monday deals, if you're in essentials, we definitely have some upgrade options and perks. So hopefully you do open that email. And our Cyber Monday deal runs till Christmas. So really giving them kind of an opportunity to engage, because you've got to run into them just like any email marketing or any social media, really any marketing. You have to meet your customer at the exact moment they want to be met there. Like you
Yeah.
can't pull them with you, and you can't just like pounce on them. They have to come to you at the moment they need you, and you have to be ready. which is why I do not do B2C, because I find it too stressful. But making sure that you're doing continual surveying means that you're giving them an opportunity to meet, you're trying to meet them where they are when they need you, and not just be like, here is your moment to give us your opinion this one time once a year. And so
Yeah.
really doing the continual surveying, I think, is what helps break through the noise. I use a
Yeah.
service called FabFitFun, and it's like a quarterly box of treats. And I think I've gotten in their community somehow. I didn't mean to, but I think I did. But I know that after like a week after I get the box delivered, I'm gonna get a survey about what was in the box. And then about probably in a month or two, I'll get a survey about what's going to be in the next box and how I feel about which options they have. And because now I try to complete them, I keep getting them.
Mhm.
But they have trained me to know when those surveys are coming. And so I'm not
Yeah.
like like alarmed, and I want to participate because I know it's a my feedback maybe does make a change in the different like perks and stuff that we're going to get.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's great point. Like also you are almost looking forward to those emails because you know
Yes,
it's
it depends on
relevant
how
to you.
grumpy I was about what I got in the
Mhm.
box.
Yeah.
Um, and but that is it's definitely every time you pass up a chance to take a survey, you're giving up your right to vote in the future of that company. So that's I'll give credit to Eric Cotto, our COO, who has ingrained that into me, and why I am passionate about surveys now. Because if you're not taking that survey, then you have kind of resigned your option to have an opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. And I think the only other thing we're left with is also looking at your employees, how to make sure that there's a good response rate there too. And I think,
mm,
yeah,
I think
if
perks still
you
work.
first,
I
first for sure, yeah.
I would take a $5 Starbucks, though I'll do anything for a $5 Starbucks card. Making sure that your employees know that when we've talked about this internally a lot, making sure that they know that change does happen. About halfway through, we send out a QuestionPro survey in the first quarter, and then the executive team reviews it. And by the second quarter, they've implemented changes typically. And this has happened 2 years in a row that I've worked at or the 3 years that I've worked at QuestionPro. They've done that for 2 years. And so now this year, I even do a small campaign to make sure everybody on my team takes the survey, because the first year people were like, no, it doesn't do anything. And then it did something. And I was like, hello. And so making sure that your teams know and can see like kind of that positive reinforcement and authenticity from the executive team.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know how
absolutely.
to make responses go up other than like show change happens and perks.
I
uh,
think show change happen beats perks.
Sure. We could have both. I don't think it should be an and or. I think it should be an and. um, but you know what, Prachi, I think we've covered a lot of the reasons why you need to send end of the year surveys, the kind of surveys you can send. You can definitely get them on the questionpro.com/survey templates, or in your survey library inside of your platform, starting with even our free license. A lot of those survey templates work on that. And then, if you are looking to upgrade your license before the end of the year, reach out to sales@questionpro.com, and they will have some end of the year bonuses or perks or whatever that you need to make sure you're moving forward with your insights. Any last words, Prachi?
No, I think we covered everything. I think we should do one fun fact about Question Pro every office hours.
Ooh.
And I find this one completely insane. So I'm just going to talk about this. We have multilingual options, right? So you can have your survey
Oh,
translated
hold on.
into
I stopped
any
sharing your
language.
screen. There we go.
Oh no. Wait, no. Oh, that's fine.
Oh,
But we have multilingual options. And the most fun thing that I found is we also have Klingon as a language in this
Klingon.
multilingual Klingon. I don't know who is surveying who in Klingon,
Klingon.
but we have Klingon as a language. Yeah.
I actually have some theories about a customer that uses that then.
Wow.
But
Amazing.
I'm not going to name drop them because I don't know our contract status with them.
Yeah.
um, but wink, wink, and nudge, nudge to the people out there watching. If you, I think the media house that produces some of those that content uses QuestionPro.
Well, and
Or
also
some like intense Comic-Con guys ask for it. Either way, it works. That is a really fun fact, though.
also this goes to show if you wanted to run a survey in Dothraki, you could possibly come to us and we'd possibly add that.
There's definitely
And then you'd have
dictionaries for
Klingon
it.
and Dothraki. Yep.
I mean, all you'd have to do is import. Anyway, sorry that we just like
Nerd hour starting.
This is now QuestionPro Office Hours Nerd Edition. We also, so let us know though, if you're getting the QuestionPro newsletter, let us know. There's going to be a survey in there in the upcoming editions that Prachi is working on for the kind of content you'd like to see on Office Hours. And if we're missing something that you'd like to hear us talk about, we are here every month answering questions that we get from the surveys we send out. And yes, sometimes it seems like we're going a little this way, but trust me, it's all here to help you. This is our last QuestionPro Office Hours of 2022. And I am so grateful for everyone who's tuned in this year as they've seen us kind of, cover everything from essentials to CX to, workforce. Talked about X Day a lot. And now, stay tuned as we start again on January. January 30th of 2023, we'll be kicking off the new year, starting with essentials, which is kind of, we want to start the year making sure that everyone understands the basics of QuestionPro, from how to add a logo to changing the colors. And we'll be working our way through our more advanced features next year. But let us know in the survey that we're sending out in the newsletter what you'd like to see from QuestionPro Office Hours in 2023.
Awesome. And I guess we'll come back in Jan with some market research insights for 2023 as well, because we do that survey at the start of every year. So
we do. That's awesome. That's awesome. Prachi already has a plan, guys. We'll be here. We're going to talk about that. Well, thanks so much for joining me, Prachi. I'll see you later. Have a happy new year.
See you.